That's pretty cool. I like that. Now, let's talk a little bit about going through COVID. We could do a full podcast
Yeah.
on just that one
Hey.
topic, but let's just touch on it just a bit. So, yeah, catering businesses during COVID, as you think about the different types of businesses and industries that were hurt the most, like, you're in that group, right? You're in that club. you're
Yeah, it's not a club I
you're
wanted to be in.
Yeah, right. I mean, damn, can you give us just I mean, I'm sure there had to be a lot of sleepless nights, right? With you and Anthony thinking, holy shit, like, is it over? Like, there had to be some super scary times in there.
Oh yeah. So I describe it as the most traumatic time in my life.
Mm,
And I don't take that lightly. I really truly mean that. We were
mm,
under so much stress and duress, watching just the rug, get pulled out from under us.
yep,
For the
yep.
whole year, we were down 70% in revenue last year. But
Wow.
when you work so hard to, to just be growing over the years, and then you're not allowed to have gatherings and have events, and you just see it just cancel, 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 cancel. Yeah, it's heart-wrenching and devastating. But I think even more than the financial component, what really bore on me was our team, right? Because
Mhm.
not only were they fearful for their jobs and the company, they were fearful for their safety and their families and what the world was dealing with.
Right.
It wasn't just like our revenue. Like, we
Mhm.
had always saved for a rainy day fund.
Okay,
And
good.
kind of, my husband actually teaches all over the country to caterers on how to run a financially stable company. And one of the
I
biggest
see.
things is that 6 months rainy day fund, similar to how you should operate your personal finances in case you ever get let go or something
Mhm.
happens.
Mhm.
So our business, we knew we were going to be okay. And no one knew that it was going to last for as long as it did.
Right.
And we told our team, like, we want to stand by you and commit to you if you want to dig in and be a part of this. But the pivot was tough. I mean,
Mm,
we turned into full-time delivery drivers. We were no longer doing full service off-premise catered events. We were
mhm.
doing delivery experience packages and really anything we could do. We did Mother's Day deliveries, Easter deliveries, Father's Day deliveries, like any
Wow.
holiday that we could try to capitalize on and ask for support from our clients and community. And but yeah, I think the hardest part was just we had worked so hard to build the Footers
Right.
family up and create opportunities for our team. And then just to see the uncertainty and having to go in every day and reassure them that we're going to get through this. But really, as business owners, not knowing a lot of
Right.
answers, right? Like, we didn't know what the future held either. So then we're
Right.
having to go home and like give ourselves a pep talk. Like, we have
Yes.
to be there for them, lean into each other. But it's we have the most incredible members on our team that carried us all through it together.
How many people that ended up getting laid off? Like, what percentage of the team do you have back at this point so far?
So it was really interesting. The timing of COVID was right before we would hire for the season because it
Okay.
happened in March.
Okay.
And normally we'll do a hire in April for the summer, and then we hire again in September for the fall.
Mhm.
And so for all of our hourly team that was on board, which it was a pretty small group, I think there was about 25 at that time.
Okay.
We furloughed them.
Yep.
We gave everyone a pretty hefty stipend to like cover expenses for a couple of weeks. And
Okay.
this is before the unemployment credit kicked in.
Yep.
So the amount of guilt that we felt as business owners, even having to do that, was just extreme. So
Mhm.
we created hotel pans for hope for all of our furloughed team members. And a hotel pan is a pan that has 20 servings of food in it. And what we would do is every week because we had massive amounts of inventory in our cooler and freezer,
I
we would
see.
cook a meal every week. And for all 25-ish furloughed team members, they would come back every single week and get a new pan filled with food. So we called it
Wow.
Hotel Pans for Hope. And what it did is it created the community and connection. It kept our team engaged. It was like people were dealing with mental health issues and depression, and, like I said, scared for family members or themselves, their
Mhm.
job, the world. And so we were able to create that, and it lasted for 4 months. I
Okay.
would say about
Great.
2 months in, I think, is when the unemployment credit started. And so that really helped, because now some of our team members were making more on unemployment than they were working for us. So we would just check in with them and kind of gauge how that was going. And then for our full-time salaried team members, there were right around 25 at that time. And I think 3 chose to leave because they actually got out of the industry altogether. I think it was a good time for people to just take stock in their life and what motivates them and what they want to keep doing. And yeah, for everyone else, we carried them through, and we just all knew, like, we committed to each other that we were all going to do whatever it takes to get through this together. And I have never seen a team lean into each other more and trust each other more than our team did during COVID. And I will say one of the biggest benefits is that we all made it through together. And so we're connected on an even deeper level than we were before.
Right. I mean, now it's like anything that happens on a weekly basis, you're like, whatever.
We got
been through
COVID.
war. Yeah. Right. I mean, it's almost like, hey, we stormed the beach at Normandy. Like, after that, everything else is easy. Right.
Yeah. It probably felt like that at times. Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations. Love what you did with the food, by the way, with the excess inventory and giving the food away with them coming back once a week. Great idea.
Thank you.
Love that. Love that.
And I gotta say, I supported our team giving the food, but they really took it and made it what it was,
Nice.
and that the just the ownership in taking care of the team, and so they created Hotel Pants for Hope and how it was going to be a weekly thing. We created a website called Nacho Average Chef.
Really?
We post like blogs on what people are doing and just anything to stay connected. We posted a video of the Hotel Pants for Hope. And so, yeah.
Great. Love what you did. Wonderful that your team pulled through that. You're right. Now, for any of those full-timers that are with you now, you guys are super bonded. You may have some of those employees for the rest of their career. I know turnover is always part of it, but wow, that's great. Did it bother you? I mean, during some of those periods where, you can't host an event, but you go over to Walmart or King Soopers and there's 300 people in there and you're like, well, why can't I have an event with masks? I mean, these people are in.
For sure.
Did that frustrate? I mean,
yeah, I think the biggest frustration is the rules were changing daily, weekly. No one really knew what was going on. What are we allowed to do? Is it state? Is it county? Is it, the country? And I think it was to a certain extent, like the blind leading the blind, right? And so, yes, it was so frustrating. And, it challenged us to have to get innovative and pivot. And, I know some companies from around the country that just closed their doors right away or laid everyone off. And we said, like, we got to at least try something,
Right.
We can't just kind of throw in the towel and just say, like, we're going to wait to reopen our doors. And it was like we were tested, right? So when you're in those times, those things are so frustrating. And it's like, how can Walmart have, 500 people, but we can't be operating our business? And no, I don't agree with all of that necessarily, especially because it was our livelihood, our team's livelihood. But everything that we did, we made sure that it aligned with our reputation and the quality of a company we are. And so, these packages, we created tons of packages for nonprofits so they could do virtual fundraising galas online. And
cool.
at one point we went to 3 different homes all over Denver delivering these packages, but they were beautiful. They felt like gifts when you received them, and it's like, that's a Footers package. And we made sure that we didn't, cheapen anything that we provided for our clients and their guests during that time, because we wanted it to still represent our brand.